says, go after it, my Dockers and play footy.
A bit inexperienced, a little bit probably nervous and over anxious. You've got to keep it plugging away, it'll come.
Yeah, no big tackle put in there, but it was high, just a little high around the shoulders.
Taken by the 24 for Minnesota. 3-man on the score. Here's the number 23. He's taken, played on, shoots and scores! That is, we have some new kids on the block with regards to USAFL Nationals. I love the fact that all these Americans love this sport.
We are coming to you live from the Silver Lakes Athletic Complex in Norco, California, where we continue our coverage of the United States Australian Football League's National Tournament for the year 2022. It's presented by Go Live Sports. Thank you very much, folks, for doing that. Also, we'd like to thank some of our sponsors. Obviously, Tasmania has been a great sponsor for us this year. And there's also a raffle going on, courtesy of our sponsors at Fiji Air. Basically, what it is it's a raffle where you get free airfare, 2 tickets, from LAX to Fiji to Australia and then back to LA, but you'll have another stopover in Fiji too. So you have a stopover on the way down to Australia and a stopover on the way back. So it's pretty cool. The raffle tickets are being sold at the main tent right now here at the complex. And the tickets are $1 gets you 10 tickets, $3 gets you 25. $10 gets you 50, and you get 100 for $25. Now, the drawing is tomorrow, Sunday. It'll be at the award ceremony after everything's done here for the day. You do not have to be present to win. So we're seeing 2 clubs in here right now, the Minnesota Freeze and the Baltimore Dockers, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah. Well, we've been talking about different teams, and I was like, wait a minute. It's like, no, it's truly them. So it is Minnesota versus Baltimore. Minnesota's coming off a loss. Their first game they played today, they lost to the Portland Steelheads by a score of 9-6-60 to 1 straight 6. And the Baltimore Dockers coming off a loss too, losing to the Boston Demons in Division 2. Boston winning by a score of 7 goals, 2 behinds, 44 points, to Baltimore's 3-5-23. And the Rucks go up, and it's going down. Here we go. We've got footy here, and this is another match here in Division 2, the men's side, and big kick as the Dockers come away with the center clearance. And it's taken, handball back, and here we go. Kick goes into the forward 50. Looks like the Freeze will intercept, Mark, and they do. And now the Freeze coming out here, kick in, and, it goes off the hand of number 26 there. That is Brian Oler. And that's a big kick. It's coming down right in front of us here. And it's in a contest. Baltimore trying to get out with it. Play on calls the umpire as the player who was wrapped up did get it to the boot. But now nice smother there as the Freeze were about to kick it into their forward 50. And here comes the Dock show now. And it goes off of a couple of hands and a face and winds up going out of bounds, so it'll be a boundary throw in. With me here today doing colors, Tristan Webster. Tristan from the Philadelphia Hawks. Tristan, welcome to the booth.
Thank you, Bill. Excited to be here.
So we've got a boundary throw in here just almost in front of our commentary position here on the near wing. Out it comes and tapped back. Dockers looking for the clearance. Ball's still kind of up for grabs. And it's going to be up for grabs even more because it's going to roll out and we'll have another boundary throw in here. Just starting this one here, this is another one of our Division II men's games today. Coming up next, we mentioned Portland and Boston. Those 2 teams will be tangling. Boston and Portland will be starting at 2 o'clock our time. So if you're watching back in Boston, it'll be 5 o'clock your time, which is actually the time I'm still on because I haven't gotten used to this whole California thing yet as it goes through the corridor and then gets taken by the Dockers. And they're looking to bring it back into attack, and they're doing exactly that. Handball goes out. He is wrapped right up. He gets a handball out, takes a bounce off the ground, sits for the player, and here come the Dockers now. Out to the side, and that is marked there. That is number 10 there. That is, actually I don't know because there are no numbers on this roster. So anyway, that's going to make things interesting here as the ball goes out toward the boundary. Stays in, though, and both players going to ground, showing some desperation there, trying to get it moving. There now with it was number 10 there for the Freeze. That's Brent Fisher. Back by the Dockers, though. Here we go. Dockers on the way in. Almost intercept mark there by the Freeze. Not quite, though, but the Freeze looking to take it out again. And that one's smothered. Nice job there. Dockers trying to keep it in their forward 50, but alas. Oh, they actually intercept mark it now. And that kick's going in towards the sticks, and that's going to go wide, I think. But it'll be marked. No, it won't be.
Yeah, we're seeing the kind of trademark run that comes from the Baltimore team at the moment. They're really flowing nicely, moving the ball by hand and hitting their targets out and open. So it's been really good from them this year.
Thanks for having my back on that, Tristan. I actually had a little bit of a coughing fit there. And before the game, Tristan's like, oh, just cue me if you want me to participate. It's like, okay, yeah. So he took my coughing as an obvious cue. So Tristan's got my back here, which is awesome.
We'll work it out.
Yeah, so let's see here. So we're talking about that. And
just a throw in.
Yep. Comes down. And the Freeze trying to move it out. Dockers have it there. Someone trying to do something with it, but just a lot of players going to ground there. And almost marked as the Freeze trying to do an escape play. Kick there. Oh, smothered as the Dockers tried to advance it and kick it toward goal. And that one just bounces off a player there. It's going kind of back and forth. Right now it's kind of Aussie rules meets Twister meets pinball. And, it goes in now. He's got a clean shot. That looks like that's going to go through. Is it? It's a goal. Let's see. That's a goal.
Yeah, that was a great pickup there. The ball was contested. It was loose. He was just clean with his hands, and it meant he had heaps of space there to just walk in and slot it through the middle.
All right, so there we go. First points of the game scored by the Baltimore Dockers. The Dock Show starts with the first points of the match, and consulting the Watch AFL scoreboard, now it is the Baltimore Dockers 1 straight 6, and the Minnesota Freeze yet to score. So we saw some good action going back and forth, and the Dockers were holding up on defense, trying to get just some movement out of there, but nice job by the Dockers keeping them penned in. And the Freeze just couldn't get the ball out of the zone, and finally one of the Dockers was able to kick it and put it right through the big sticks for the opening major.
Yeah, definitely had a few chances to get it out there, but there's just a really strong line across the half-forward line there by the Dockers.
Goes up again, and the Dockers get the clearance here. They're trying to. Ball goes back to ground. Right now the Freeze have numbers around the ball, and here we go. That's a big kick looking in, and it's going to bounce. It'll be taken by one of the Dockers, though. And then he is hauled down. Play on calls the umpire. But the Freeze have it now in their own end. Oh, they can't get it cleanly to another player, though. And intercept mark, though, by the Freeze. That's number 22. That's Zach Weaver. And he just kicks it and delivers it inside 50. Who's going to get there first? And it's marked by a teammate. The Freeze have their first kick inside 50. That mark there, number 5, that's Daniel Stevens. And he has a chance to tie this game up, level the scores. Just has to kick this one. Early stages of the first half here in this match. USAFL Nationals 2022. It is Baltimore versus Minnesota. And let's see, that's coming back. And it's caught right in front.
I think he's taking the mark.
That's some stout defense there by the Dockers. And comes out just to the 50 line, but it looks like actually I thought the Freeze might be taking it back in, but here come the Dockers. And let's see here. Ball going back to ground. Here we go. They're just going to ball it up. And comes out once again. Who's going to get the clearance? It looks like the Dockers are going to get. He's just going to soccer it off the ground. And let's see, is this going to, actually it'll take a curve. They'll slow down, and it stays in bounds. It stays in play. Nice job by the Dockers. That kick going in now. Can he mark it? No, he cannot. Minnesota picks it up instead. And then he kicks it right through. And almost intercept mark there by one of the Dockers. They couldn't do it, though. And now here we go. Goes over his head and out of bounds. So we'll have another boundary throw in. Good news for the Dockers, though, because it's meters gained. It's in their forward 50. Ball coming down. Can they get the clearance? They just tap it right back toward the boundary line.
Might be going again.
It is going again. Question is, did it go off someone's foot? Did that go on the full, or is that just a throw in? I thought I might have seen it go off someone's foot. I could be mistaken. I often am.
Well, you know the rule is comes off below the knee. It
Yep.
would be considered out on the full. Looks like we're just
That
having
didn't
it back
happen.
in.
Yep. Now, right now with numbers around the ball, that's Minnesota. And they look to kick it out. It's going to skip and jump, and who's going to get there first? It's going to be the Freeze. Stevens was in that exchange there. He's got it once again. He can't hang on to it, though, and it's going to roll out of bounds. Another throw in. Toss back in from the boundary here. And tapped out. Almost a nice clearance. They did hit out to advantage, but the player got wrapped right up after. And we've got a holding the man call, and that's going to be a free kick going to the Minnesota Freeze. So the ball will have to come all the way back because it did not pay advantage, so they'll have to bring the ball all the way back.
He tried.
Yep.
He asked the question, but I think ultimately
what? No advantage?
No advantage there.
That's not what he wanted to hear. So, free kick goes over everyone's head, takes a bounce. Picked up cleanly by one of the Dockers, but the Freeze have it now. And here we go, going back into their forward 50. Oh, intercepted there. Nice job by the Dockers. Going up to the side boundary line there, out to the far wing. And they kick just up the wing, take a hop, and they'll pick it up. Runs around, gets himself some space, and now kicks, and that's going to be headed into forward 50. Can they get it? Oh, it takes a weird bounce, but it's a Dockers bounce. He's able to, it's a bit of a fend off there, and gone. Tried to do the fend off, couldn't get rid of the ball, and as a result, the player who tackled him is rewarded for his effort.
If you're going to take on the defender like that, unfortunately, you've got to live with the consequences if it doesn't pay off.
Yeah. But meanwhile, they're moving it back up, and here comes Minnesota once again. Minnesota yet to score. They came close, but a beautiful defensive mark by Philadelphia stopped that first point from going through. And a couple of players go to ground. I believe that's a push in the back. That's going to be a free kick, and it's going to be to the benefit of the Minnesota Freeze. Of course, if they get a whole bunch of these in a row, we can say the Freeze get the Freeze. And a kick going in, and not quite marked. The kick a little too low, and here come the Dockers, and they're marching right out with it once again. Here we go, quick chain of handballs, and they are on the move. Bringing through the wing, goes over everybody. He's able to pick it up as it sits for him, though. We've got a member of the Minnesota club getting up a little slowly, but he's up now. And that kick goes into forward 50, and we've got a big contest taken away. Nice job there in defense by Minnesota. So far, we've seen some good defense from both clubs, but here comes, once again, taking it back in. That's Baltimore. That is marked, and he's just going to kick it in, and that looks like, let's see where it's going to go.
Someone's going to have
intercept mark right in front. So there we go. Minnesota had one of their kicks intercepted right in front of the goals. Now they respond in kind.
Really
he can't mark it, so he's got to hurry up and do something with it here. Nice job getting around the body, but he kicks it right to a Docker. Baltimore's going to have it coming right back. And he marks it there too. And that's just more or less a crossing kick, or a centering ball, I guess, but it's a little far out for a centering ball. But that's marked right there inside 50. Nice leap. And let's see what we've got here. And a 50.
I think that was for the bump after the mark.
Oh boy, so here we go. So Baltimore looking for their second goal. And that'll have them cheering in the Charm City. Second major score for the Baltimore Dockers. And checking the Watch AFL scoreboard, they lead this one right now, 2 straight 12. And once again, Minnesota yet to score. It came close, but an amazing Dockers defensive play stopped that.
Yeah, the umpires have been very clear with the teams this year that it's going to be zero tolerance for messing around after the ball, talking back. And so we'll see a lot of any undisciplined player is going to be penalized and can really set a team back.
I remember one time we were doing a stateside footy episode and the Chicago Swans were on, and we covered a couple of their games during nationals, and they had there was a history of like talking back and getting 50s. And so I happened to mention it's like, oh, they have a history at least on stateside footy of talking back and getting 50s. No sooner had they said that, they talked back and got another 50. I'm like, okay, well, I'm kind of psychic today. And it comes out of the ruck once again, and here come the Dockers. Dockers on the move. They've got 2 goals right now. They want another one. Handball up, and here we go. They're on the move. Oh, he is tackled right from behind, but maybe he didn't have prior opportunity. But anyway, play on calls the umpire, and it's going to take a bounce. And Dockers still have it. They've got numbers around the ball, but he is hauled down.
I don't think he had the ball there.
No. So it could have been holding the man, but wasn't paid that way. Here we go once again. The Dockers about to kick in a forward 50. And let's see here. He's got it now. Can he get to, it touches the ground. Handballs it right in front. Oh, no, he can't quite get it. Oh, they had a chance right there in front of the goals, and they just couldn't do it. And the Freeze look to move it out right now. He is wrapped up. He tries to dispose of it. And let's see here. We get a whistle. And they're going to call for a ball up. Umpire says mine. And the clearance going to Baltimore. And let's see, that kick goes along the ground. Can they move it further up? They've got a couple of players. Oh, they just couldn't get it off the ground. And then one of the players almost picked it up, but he had a couple of Freeze members right on him. And so that'll be balled up once again. First quarter action here at the USAFL Nationals Tournament, Division II match between the Baltimore Dockers and the Minnesota Freeze. And right now, Baltimore leads by 2 straight kicks, and Minnesota looking to get it out of danger. It is in almost intercept mark there, and then goes to ground. Dockers still trying to move it ahead, but the Freeze have it now, and he is dispossessed, and then he is hauled down, and we've got a whistle there.
It's going to be holding the man, I think.
Yeah. As he didn't have possession of the ball, and he was just leveled.
For a change, I think Baltimore, I'm hoping that Minnesota was clean with the footy on that one. It would have been a very different story.
Free kick going to Dan Kvitrud. I hope I'm getting your name right, Dan. That's a bit of a floaty kick there. Intercept mark, and here come the Dockers right back with it. Kick goes up along the wing, and that is marked. He's going to play on. He sets his target. He looks, and intercept mark there. Nice job by the Freeze. That's number 24. That's Christopher Adams. And he gets a nice kick out to the near boundary right in front of our commentary position. But once again, we're going back and forth here. It's like we're playing footy tennis. Back and forth, just back and forth. And he gets the kick in again. And the pack is getting ready, but actually no real pack once they saw the flight of the ball.
They're just playing kick to kick right now.
Yeah. It's like a practice drill. There we go. He connects with a mark, and now they're going to bring it out the fat end of the ground. Marked. 51, I believe that is. I actually don't see that. I got to double check if that's the right number. I don't see a 51. Unless you count squad 51. We saw that the other day down at the LA County Fire Museum. But anyway, Dockers have it again. And there goes that kick once again, right to 50. Marked! Oh, no.
They got to pay
Oh, they did pay it. They paid it. Went up, took that grab, and came right down. Question is this a kick? Will this have the journey, or will it have to be relayed further inside?
He's a long way out. There's a big breeze coming across the ground, kind of reminiscent of the Fremantle Docker.
And I don't think that's going to make it all the way. However, oh, maybe. Oh, it was touched, maybe.
It's touched.
Touched, so that's a point. But that's another scoring shot for the Baltimore Dockers. And they now lead as once again we turn our attention to the Watch AFL scoreboard. 2 goals, 1 behind, 13 points. And still nothing from Minnesota, who take the kick in from their own back goal square. And that one is marked there by number 53. That's James Williamson. And they're just going to try and move it up the wing right now, and goes into the hands of Zach Weaver. So Weaver has it right now. He's looking to the middle of the ground, looking for a target. Takes a bounce, and here we go, and kicked up. And let's see here. Whoop. Goes to ground, and the Dockers pick it up, but then that's intercepted, and coming right back there, I believe that's number 10, that's Brent Fisher. And ball going back to ground, both teams showing some desperation and going after it, but the Dockers have it once again. They're able to get the chain of disposals back into the forward 50, and they take another mark. No numbers. Oh, Thomas Waters, okay. So we think it's Thomas Waters. Thanks, Tristan. It's kind of challenging because we've got no numbers here on the Baltimore roster. But that's a big kick. Let's see. That looks like it's going well wide. And let's see here. That's another behind. So 2 majors, 2 minors, as once again we turn our eyes to the Watch AFL scoreboard. 2-2-14 for the Baltimore Dockers, and still goose eggs for the Minnesota Freeze.
Yeah, this game's been played all in the Baltimore half at this point, so we really need to hit some targets and just get the ball in the forward line, give their forwards a chance.
Once again, it's a case where you might have to take the wind into account sometimes when you're doing the kicking here, because even like when I was up here before doing previous games, the ball would get up in the air and then the wind would just do, and you felt like you were watching a wiffle ball tournament. Dockers get it now after a couple of bounces, and that one, let's see if the wind catches that one. That looks really good. That's a goal. Wow. Just a quick snap off the boot. The wind caught it. It looked like it might have been going left, but the wind's like, I got you. Boom, right through. Kind of like what was it, William Sadler in Die Hard 2? We've got you. So there we go, goes right through. So that's another major score. And now the Baltimore Dockers increase their lead once again as we go over to the Watch AFL scoreboard. 3-2-20, 3 goals, 2 behinds, 20 points for the Dock Show. And then we bring it back up to center, which actually might be a good thing for the Freeze.
Yeah, it gives them a chance to reset, hopefully get the ball forward.
Both of these clubs looking for a win. Both of them went down and defeat their first games today. And right now it looks like Baltimore's got the better chance of doing that, as once again, looks like they're going to get the center clearance, or maybe not. They did get the hit out to advantage, but they couldn't field it cleanly. And so it gets taken up and marked. There we go now. That's number 5. Once again, that's Daniel Stevens. He kicks it in, and that is marked as well, just outside 50. That's 22. That's Weaver. Weaver goes to kick it in. It looks like the wind took it a little bit and giving a chase, and it's out of bounds. Yeah, we've got over there, you see, we got the Canadian flag, the American flag, the Australian flag. Maybe we need a windsock out here too. I just heard someone call 1 minute. And the Dockers once again get it out. And you see, just look at the wind. That kick just looked like a knuckleball going through the air there. And Fisher with it right now. Handballs it off. And he is wrapped up. He can't take it down. And he is gone. Well, and they're not going to let him play on. No advantage called. Bring it back.
Unlucky. He had an absolute paddock in front of him at that point.
Yeah.
Number 20 is going to have to come back and take his free kick, I think.
Yeah. And that's a big kick. That's a spinning. And that's the horn. That's it. First half is in the books. And a lot of writing done by the Baltimore Dockers so far into that book. Halftime score, once again going to the Watch AFL scoreboard. It is the Baltimore Dockers, 3 goals, 2 behinds, 20 points. And the Minnesota Freeze right now yet to score. Right now, both of these teams, they're both looking for their first win. Baltimore losing to Boston 7-2, 44-3, 5-23. And Portland beating Minnesota 9-6, 60 to 1 straight 6. So while we've got you here, Tristan, how are things been going on at the Hawks this year? Obviously, we just saw you guys pull off a nice win in the one of the first games we covered here. How are things going in the not the Windy City, that's Chicago. Hello. The city of, how about this? The city of brotherly footy. How's that?
Yeah, it's been a good year for the Hawks. We've got out. We didn't have as many competitive games this year as we've tried to schedule in the past, just with everyone coming back from COVID and really focused on building the club. Mm-hmm. We've got a bunch of first-year players who have been regulars every week at training, every week out of the games that we do play. They're really coming along and playing well. So it feels like we've got a nice little base and ready to build for the next couple of years. One
of the things I actually saw in the game that we actually took off with the Bulldogs playing, well, you notice that the Bulldogs now have a mascot.
Oh, really?
They actually have someone walking around with like the Bulldog head going up and down, and I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, thinking of the Hawks, I'm like, please, no brown and gold gritty, please.
Yeah, I don't think that the coach has got a mascot suit tucked away in any of the team bags over there, but you never know.
Yeah, it's the first time I've actually seen that, but it's pretty cool too, just thinking of some of the other possibilities too. So once again, we're here right now at the Coopers Field at the Nationals Tournament in 2022. Thanks to Go Live Sports for providing. That's the word I'm trying to say. All the technical arrangements today and getting us out to you. Thanks to everyone streaming in live, tuning us in at Go Live's website, USAFL.com, or wherever you happen to be watching this. Coming up next, we've got another big game here. We talked about Portland winning their first game. We talked about Boston winning their first game. Those two teams are going to meet head-to-head next. That'll be the 2 o'clock game here. Once again, if you're a fan of either of those teams, well, if you're watching in Portland, it's going to be 2 o'clock anyway. But if you're a Demons fan watching back in Boston, it's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern time. So there we go. But so far, Minnesota with like 1 or 2 opportunities. But the Doc Show has really put on a clinic here.
Yeah, they've looked really good. As I said earlier, they're hitting their targets, which is the thing that makes all the difference in the USAFL. If you can find a little bit of space, just lower the eyes and hit that target, makes the game so much easier. It's just competitive, contested footy it's fun. It's fun to play. But it puts the other team with a chance to take it back and turn the ball around. So
the other thing about the targeting too is, when Minnesota's trying to hit their targets, Baltimore's doing a great job getting in the way.
Yeah.
And mostly it's been on their half of the ground, but even when it's been down in the Minnesota, and they've been doing a great job getting that ball back and turning it right around into attack.
Yeah, well, when Minnesota get the ball, they're kicking long every time, and then the Dockers are just floating into the space. Dockers are just lowering those eyes, and there's a few that certainly are contested, but more often than not, those uncontested marks are making the game a lot easier for them.
Just like to give you a reminder, by the way, we were talking about this before. At the ground here, there is a raffle going on, the USAFL raffle, and it's going to benefit the league and the USAFL Foundation. And the grand prize, courtesy of Fiji Airways, 2 free tickets from LA to Australia, a stopover in Fiji both ways.
How long do I have to stay with my parents in Australia? Can I just jump straight back on the plane to Fiji?
I don't know. Tickets, by the way, it's 10 for $1, 25 for $3, 10 for $50, and then I'm sorry, 50 for $10. That's what I meant, and 100 for $25. The drawing will be tomorrow at the awards ceremony after all the games have been played. Once again, you do not have to be present in order to win. And something else we'd like to mention too, we've been talking about the USAFL, and we'd like to talk about the USAFL Foundation, which was launched in 2020. The Foundation's mission is to provide ongoing financial assistance for the development of this game here in the United States, Australian rules football. The Foundation is looking basically to be an annual funding source for the USAFL, a USAFL emergency fund for extreme situations, and to support the growth of the game here in the States, as we mentioned. Now, their goal is to raise over $2.5 million over the next 3 years to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the league in 2022, starting with raising pledges in 2020 for $1 million. Now, the league has evolved over the last 20-plus years. The first decade was building the foundation of the game, and now they're looking to help secure the future and move things ahead. So if you want more information on that, you can go to the league's website. You can see it there at usafl.com/foundation. And that's how you can learn more about the USAFL Foundation and what they're doing to try and add more funding to continue the growth and the proliferation of Australian rules football here in the United States. Team's just about to get back on the field here, and once again, looking at the Watch AFL scoreboard, it is 3-2-20. 3 goals, 2 behinds, 20 points for the Baltimore Dockers. Minnesota Freeze still have yet to score. Hopefully they will break that hoodoo in this half. And so far, what do both these teams need to do, Tristan?
Well, I think it's obvious what the Freeze need to do. They've got to hit the scoreboard.
All right. But how do they go about that?
So it's going to start by winning the ball out of the footy. As I said before, they've got to hit some targets. These contested, just bringing the ball to ground and giving their in and under players a chance to win those balls. Because when the ball is contested, they're actually looking pretty good. Okay. I've seen a few games on this field so far. This does seem to be the scoring end. So hopefully we'll see a bit of a closer game as this one progresses. All
right. Well, yeah, basically you guys were kicking them left and right once you get down to that end in the second half in your match. So here we go. The ball's about to go up, and here we go again. Footy is on, and we are going. Freeze trying to get the opening clearance. They kick it back, and can't quite get it there to Brent Fisher. And once again, they just hold it up, and the umpire will say, my ball, I'll take that, and we'll get it back to you guys. And the leap and the hit, and Dockers with the clearance. Here we go, handball goes out, and he's going to take it right by 50, and let's see here. Oh, what a mark, oh my goodness! Right in front. Had to extend himself, go to ground, and just pick that one up. Quick turnaround, they moved the ball right there, and you were talking about hitting your targets. Even that one was a little bit out there. That's number 12. That was Thomas Gage. But even though it was a little off the mark, he went out there. He just grabbed it. So here we go. Thomas Gage with a set shot and a chance to extend Baltimore's lead even more. And that's bending back, and that looks pretty good. That looks like it went through. That's a goal. Yeah. Another major score for the Baltimore Dockers. And the Dock Show is starting up where they left off. Another major score, and now they lead this one on the Watch AFL scoreboard. 4 goals, 2 behinds, 26 points.
Yeah, he just hung that one out to the right, let the wind take it back straight through the middle in the end. No, never in doubt.
Excellent. So while the ball's going up to center, Tristan, tell us a little bit about you. What's your background? You mentioned, obviously, well, we could tell anyway, but you mentioned being home in Aussie. Where do you hail from?
So I'm originally from Melbourne. Grew up in Melbourne, loved my footy, actually loved the Hawks. And so I actually lived in the States for about 6 years before I picked up a footy in Boston originally. So, but when I saw the Hawks, the brown and gold, it was real easy to pull on a jersey.
Excellent. So once again, the Dockers looking to move it in. Oh my goodness, he marks it again. Oh my goodness. Again, that's a second dynamite mark from Thomas Gage. And once again, it went up, was reaching for it, it wasn't quite dead on, but he just went up there and got the ball. And that's, you talk about hitting your targets, but also it helps when your targets go up and get the ball. Takes his run up. Another kick here, and that's high, and that might be there again. That looks like it's pretty good there. Let's see. That is another goal. And at this point, the Dock Show is just piling them on. Baltimore now 5-2-32. And that's Gage's second goal, but not just second goal, but second goal coming off an absolutely terrific mark.
Yeah, terrific mark and lead. So he's starting really deep out of full forward there, but then he's hitting space and he's getting those hands out in front. The defender had no chance on either of those.
So here we go. Once again, it goes back up and punched ahead by the Freeze. They can't get it though, and here come the Dockers once again with it. He is wrapped up, he's down, and he's gone. Holding the ball, Minnesota getting their best look at it so far. Let's see if they can deliver it cleanly inside forward 50. He's just going to kick it off to the side, and with there, that's number 53. That's Williamson, and that kick goes a little too far and winds up going out of bounds. Obviously, it's a good point for meters gained, but still at some point, you've got to get that throw in and turn that thing around and get it off somebody's boot and toward those sticks.
I feel for the boundary umpires at the moment. Throwing in this wind is really tough.
And the Freeze, they have it. Get somebody loose. He's going to, oh boy, that's not going to go well. That's going to be out on the full. That was there, just couldn't get it on target. And so it'll be a free kick there, and it is marked there.
That's a big target.
And it comes up the near wing right in front of our commentary position. And, oh, here we go, bounce off player, and he's got it right now. Big play in there, and goes over everyone. And by the way, my apologies. A couple of times I name-checked Thomas Gage. I was reading off the wrong roster. Thomas Gage is actually a player from Minnesota. So Thomas and the Docker wearing number 12, I apologize to you both.
What a snap from the pocket.
Although, I have a feeling if the Dockers were to look at that and say, trust me, we're good, don't worry about it. Because they have just kicked another goal. And now it's, according to the AFL Watch AFL scoreboard, it is 6-2-38. 6-2-38 and 0 for the Freeze.
Yeah, a kick like that from the pocket, like a lot of skill, but a lot of instinct in those scenarios, just knowing where to throw the ball on the boot, and that just, again, straight through the middle. Great kick.
So we got someone coming off rather gingerly there. Charles Nelson, number 61, kind of hobbling off. Coming on an interchange there. Here we go. This is the name I've been practicing all morning. Isaac Menemperapil.
Nailed it.
Oh, thank you. And here we go. The Freeze bring it back. They've got some space. Can they do something with it? Takes a bounce. Takes another bounce. And trying to get it there is Stevens. And they're just going to ball it up. Second half action here. You're watching it on Go Live Sports and USAFL.com. Coming up next, by the way, we got the Boston Demons and the Portland Steelheads. Last time I saw those two teams play was in Nationals in 2011 when we went out to Austin, Texas for stateside footy. All right, so here we go. Freeze moving up the ground. And let's see, it's going to take a hop into the hands there of Josh Friday, number 13, and then he loses it, and then he tackles his man, ball goes out of bounds. And so it'll be another boundary throw in. 38-point lead for the Baltimore Dockers. But now the Freeze look to get it. Kick delivered in there by Dan Kvitrud. And then kicked back out by the Dockers. Oh, here we go. Kicked up on the far wing. There's a pack there. Oh, he's got it.
They've been great with their hands today.
They've been fantastic with their hands. This one, he's going to run. Oh, it'll sit for him, but no, actually, one of the Frees got back to him, and they were able to spoil that. However,
this is coming back with interest, I think.
With interest and overdue fees. Bingo. So that's another mark for the Dockers inside 50.
Now, this is a tough kick. The way the wind's coming across the ground here, just really, really tough kick.
Let's see here. That's coming down. And you know what they say, when the kicks get tough, the tough get kicking. Actually, they don't say that. I just made that up. But anyway, another major score. And the Dockers, well, they were on a roll already, but they're just rocking the dock right now. Watch AFL scoreboard tells us it's Baltimore 7 goals, 2 behinds, 44 points.
One of the tough things about losing the first game is that your destiny is not in your control anymore in a tournament like this. But what they're doing right now is they're making sure they've got the best possible chance of making it through to that final.
One word, percentage.
Yeah.
And it's one of the interesting things about Aussie rules football, because so many times with like American sports, you hear people complain about, oh, they're running up the score, whereas in Aussie rules football, it's actually rewarded.
Absolutely. Yeah, and like no mercy. Problem is, like, what's the percentage of something on top of 0?
Yeah.
Might break some things.
Yep, here we go. And that kick going back into forward 50, and let's see here. Oh, nice spoil, they knock it away. Can they move it out of the defensive half, though? They're trying that right now. Ball goes to ground, a couple of players dispossessed. Handball goes off, and looks like the Dockers will pick it up again. He just gets a handball out. Freeze try. Oh, he gets crunched, and I think that's going to be a free kick. That'll be a push in the back. And that's going to go to number 13. That's Josh Friday for the Freeze. He's going to kick it out over to Fisher. Fisher kicks it up. Oh, not quite marked on the side there. And the Dockers, nice little knock on there, and here they go. Baltimore coming back in. And, oh, that one, the wind caught it and it actually kind of dipped. Looked like a little bit of a knuckleball there. But that one's kicked up high. Contest forming. Ooh. He can't catch it. He can't take the mark. But he still is able to get it. He gets some free space, still makes himself some more space, kicks it off the side of the boot, and I think that's going to go through for a minor. It is, yes. So it's another scoring shot. So now it's 7-3-45, according to the Watch AFL scoreboard.
Played on the far side over there.
Whatever you need to do as they do the kick out and they move it all the way up, and nice job by the Freeze getting up to midfield now on the far wing. And that one's marked as well. And now they deliver it inside 50. Baltimore can't mark it. And can they pick it up? They can. And that's kicked in, and intercept marked there. Right now, Baltimore dominating in every phase of the game. And that kick's going to go out of bounds. It'll be a boundary throw in the Minnesota left forward pocket. Boundary throw in once again. Here it comes. Rucks are in place. And hit out to advantage by the Freeze. But they can't do it cleanly. Baltimore's got it once again. Can they dispose of it cleanly? They can. They're about to move it up, but he is wrapped up and he is down. And ball. Free kick from Minnesota. This is probably their best look at it yet. Looking to get carve out their place on the scoreboard here. And the Stars run up. That's a big long kick. Did it make it? That looks pretty good.
Squeezed through.
That's done. First score of the match for the Minnesota Freeze. And now the Watch AFL scoreboard telling us that it's Baltimore 7-3-45 and Minnesota 1 straight 6.
Yeah, it was good to see him wrap him up in the tackle right there. There were a lot of loose Orange players coming out if he didn't. So, you know, he gambled trying to take it on. If he broke that line, we were looking at a wave of Orange coming back the other way. So
at this point, you want to start stocking up some good points going into your final game tomorrow. As it gets tossed up once again and hit out. And another kick into forward 50. Can the Freeze do it? No, not quite. Once again, the Dockers right there. And they're moving it right back through, and here they go. They are away. Moving it through the corridor. Big kick goes up. He's right under it. He's going to mark it. Baltimore moving targets ahead. They've got numbers around the ball. Here he goes now, and that's going to go, just a little too high. Minnesota trying to get it out there. Oh, and that kick is smothered. Play on, calls the umpire. Intercept mark there, just drifting behind him. That was beautiful by the Dockers defender, but then taken there by Brent Fisher. Fisher trying to line up some targets. He's got one right here, got a couple, as he gets it over to Friday. Friday with a kick in the middle. He's clean, he's got it now. And let's see here, oh boy, that actually goes between a couple of targets, and he can't quite get it. And Baltimore moves it back in, here we go again. Almost intercept mark there by Fisher. He's able to pick the ball up off the ground, gets it off the boot. It's just coming to the near wing now, right near our commentary position. It's going to stop up. Freeze have it now. And he kicks it, and that's going to be marked. Nice job there. It's number 26, Brian Oler. And it's a small kick to Friday, but that is spoiled. And one of the Dockers kind of got his bell rung a little bit there. Intercept marked once again by Fisher. Fisher for the Freeze.
it's this next kick here that's been the problem for them.
Right, moving up the ground here. And up, he was able to get that handball off just before he got taken down. And spoiled by Dockers, and here they come again. And once again, you've got like 2 or 3 handballs, a couple of quick disposals, and they're already on the move. But they kick it right to Fisher, so it's coming back anyway. And that big kick going up there, who's going to get there first? Dockers can't get there, but they do get it now, and he gets out of the tackle. And once again, the Dockers just move it. Quick ball movement right now, not just quick, but efficient. And we've got a whistle and a mark there, but also taken high there. It was number 14, Ian Robertson.
Yeah, I think whether he took that mark or not, he was going to be taking the next kick.
I was just saying, I think that mark's going to leave a mark. And out to the side. Fielded nicely there by Dan Kvitrud once again. Kicked in, gonna skip a little bit. But right now the Dockers have numbers all around the ball, and they're just gonna bring it back out. Almost marked. The Freeze have it now. Handballed off there by Benjamin Stevens, number 63, but now Baltimore bringing it up once again. And they've got some movement now. He gets past the tackle, makes himself some space. And let's see here, it's gonna bounce. Where's it gonna go?
This guy held up by the wind on the way in there.
Yeah. And on the line drive, kick. Takes a bounce. Oh, he can't field it cleanly, but he's able to get away with it. Kicks it to his next target. And marked. Big spoil attempt, but he's able to pick up the mark. That goes further up, and once again intercepted. And Baltimore's going to bring it right back. And that's basically been kind of the story of this game. They make so many good moves going up the field, and then eventually Baltimore just winds up with it and brings it right back.
Yeah, if they're not kicking to a contest, they're kicking to orange, unfortunately.
Yeah. And the ball up on the far wing. Hit out. And let's see here. Oh, out of bounds. And big kick going into the forward 50 for the Freeze. Oh, he can't mark it. Baltimore is right there, and they just turn it right around again. But intercept mark there. Nice job there. It's number 26. It's Brian Oler.
Yeah, this is a long kick, but
It is.
We'll see how he goes.
At this point, just do it.
Yeah, give it a roost.
Kick goes in there, and let's see here. Not quite marked. Loose ball. And it's going to roll out, which could still be a victory for the Freeze. It's going to be a ball up in their, basically a throw-in in their forward pocket. If they can just get it to somebody and get off a quick snap and put it through. But Baltimore's on it once again, and here we go. They've got numbers and they've got motion. They're coming out, and it is marked, and here they come again. Takes a couple of minutes and then puts it right up, and goes through everybody. Player goes to ground. A couple of other players battle for it. And now Fisher's got it once again. And goes off a hand, goes out of bounds. Definitely in the dying minutes of this one now. It's like Baltimore's going to finish this at 1-1. That kick going in, and let's see here. Trying to get it there is Menem Parampel. And that's another goal for the Dockers.
Yeah, he just won the contested ball right there. It was up for grabs and knocked him right off his line and just dribbled it through. It was a really nice kick.
If we could describe that goal with 2 words, it would be exclamation point. Watch AFL scoreboard now telling us that it's Baltimore 8-3-51. And 1 straight 6 for the Minnesota Freeze. And up it goes for grabs again. Hit out, and the Dockers almost get the clearance. Nice little bit of a spoil there by the Dockers. One of the players almost had it, and then he got shepherded off the ball, and he picks it up anyway. And, oh, he left something behind. Otherwise, they might have had a chance to do something. Here come the Dockers once again. Oh, some sliding mark on one knee. There you go.
And look at them surging. They got 5 guys running through the half-forward line.
He is wrapped up, and ball. He's gone.
I think one of the field umpires called a bounce, but overruled.
Overruled. Objection, overruled. The ball goes along the ground there, and once again the Dockers pick it up. That seems to be the crux of the story today. And Minnesota picks it up in defense. They're looking to move it back out. Up it comes. He's marked it. As Jerry Reed would say, a long way to go and a short time to get there. I guess you'd call that freeze bounding down. But anyway, got a whistle. Oh, holding the ball. Pinged. Free kick going to the Dockers once again.
And the Dockers wanted to play on quickly there, and I think if they did, they were wide open.
The Dockers, when they start with the chain of possessions and move up real quick, they're a scary club. And almost marked. And he's able to do a quick knock on, and that's the horn. That'll do it. We are at full time in this Division II match between the Minnesota Freeze and the Baltimore Dockers. And the final score at full time from the Watch AFL scoreboard, the Baltimore Dockers, 8 goals, 3 behinds, 50 points. And the Minnesota Freeze, 1 goal, straight, 6 points. That'll do it for this particular edition of the 2022 Nationals here from the Silver Lake Sports Complex in Norco, California. However, lots more still to come, including next. Big match here, two of the big teams in Division II. The Boston Demons tangling against the Portland Steelheads. Both teams already have a win, so this will be a big one between these two clubs. That's coming up next right here on our coverage of the USAFL Nationals. Once again, thanks to our sponsors, Tasmania and Watch AFL, brings us the Watch AFL scoreboard, and also brings me my AFL coverage every week. So thanks, guys. So there we go. So that's the final score here. And Tristan Webster, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. It's been a real pleasure.
All right. I'm Bill Robert. Thanking you for tuning in here. And don't forget, I'm coming back next with Boston and Portland. So whatever you do, don't go anyplace. We've got a lot of excitement still in store here in the USAFL Nationals 2022.